Yes guys, it's Nilly Last and welcome. If you're watching this video, then Thunderstruck Gaming has actually uploaded its community channel, so thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. But let's jump into this particular class setup. As you can see guys, we're going to be focusing on the Kuda this time and turning it into a rapid fire class. Now, as we know with the Kuda, it's a very dominant SMG. For a lot of people, it's their most favorite. For me personally, I'm probably more swaying towards the VMP, but this particular gun is a very, very close second. So let's just run into the actual attachments that I'm using. As you can see, I'm not going to be bothering with any optic. As we know with the Kuda, the iron sights on this gun are pretty good. They don't really obstruct your field of view or anything else like that. So it is, for me personally, just a waste of attachment trying to stick any kind of optic or anything else on there. But what we are going to be sticking on there straight away is grip. Now, this particular gun, even though the recoil isn't that bad, once we stick rapid fire in it, especially when we're playing on longer maps like Fringe at the moment, we're going to be shooting out to those longer lines of distance, and we definitely want to be trying to make sure that we're keeping this gun under control and put these enemies down very, very easily. Then we're going to be moving on to the next attachment, which is going to be stock. Now, with stock, as we know, it works extremely effectively with the SMGs in this particular game. It really, really does, and complements the movement speed straight away. So as soon as you can land, you can just drop straight into ADS straight away, pick out multiple enemies at once, and just carry on your way. Now, let's move on to the next particular attachment. Obviously, is going to be the rapid fire, which is what we're basing this particular video on. But as we know, with the fire rate on the Kuda, it isn't that bad, but once we stick rapid fire on it, it does turn into a bit more of a melting machine straight away. Then we're going to be sticking on, for the last one, is going to be extended mags. Now, obviously, because we're going to have rapid fire and we're going to be cycling through those bullets just that little bit more faster, so once we stick on extended mags, especially if you're trying to play our game mode, say like hard point, domination, things like that, you're going to be coming across multiple enemies. With extended mags, straight away, you're going to give that greater chance without having to reload about trying to put down multiple enemies at once. You could go down the other line of actually sticking on fast mags, but for me personally, extended mags is the better way to go. Now let's move on into the perks. Now with the perks, I am personally going to be running with Ghost. Now what I'm going to be trying to do is trying to flank around, trying to keep into like certain points. I know my teammates are there jumping onto the hard point, so I don't need to particularly be worrying about that kind of area. What I'm going to do is strafe around to the corners, try and keep onto the outsides, and just pick people off straight away, so preventing them from actually getting to the hard point. Now I know I'm not running with a silencer, but that doesn't really matter whatsoever. As soon as I'm flanking around into different positions, they're not going to where I'm going. I'll pick off a couple of enemies, drop into another position, and keep them guessing all the time. Now moving into the perk 2 category, we're going to be going with fast hands, because we're going to be playing a bit aggressive here and there. We're going to be using this particular perk to actually aim faster after sprinting, because obviously you're going to be dashing about from point to point. If I do come across enemies straight away while I'm running, I want to be trying to get this weapon up as quickly as I possibly can, because obviously we're not going to be having quick draw in the attachments. I do find that it works a lot better without trying to worry about trying to make room for quick draw with this particular class setup. So for me personally, fast hands is definitely a bit of a must, just to try and help you out in those kinds of situations. Then moving on to perk 3. Now with perk 3, personally for me, I'm going to be running with blast suppressor. Now this is going to help complement the fact that I've got Ghost on. As you see in there, I'm going to be jumping around, boosting around from place to place. This is obviously going to help keep me off the mini map, and people aren't going to guess exactly where I'm coming from. Now you could go down the other route as well with having a dead silence, but what I do find with dead silence, even though it does work well, the thing is that people are not going to be running with awareness that often and stuff, because of the way that has been nerfed. It's not very good anymore. So for me personally, because I'm going to be jumping from point to point, I would much rather go that particular way. And then also you could go the other way of tactical mask if you're trying to jump onto particular points or anything else like that. But as you're seeing coming up on your screen now guys, is the actual class setup. Now with this particular class setup, like I say, you can make room, you can modify it if you so wish. You could swap out extended mags and maybe put quick draw on if you much prefer to have something like that in your kind of class setup. But for me personally, this works extremely well. I did try out lots of different ways of actually setting this particular class up, but for me this was definitely the better way to go if you've tried to try and play a nice aggressive playing style. But anyway guys, this is just my little rundown of the Kuda with the actual rapid fire class setup on it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe. I've got lots of other things going on my channel as well as just class setups. But thank you Thunder once again. But this is Nilly Last, and I'll catch you later.